Alright, and welcome back. So, the nice thing about me taking all that time to do all that cleanup, then, behind the scenes, pay no attention to the animator behind the curtains, is that now I can just focus on the two most important... It's not really a two, it's sort of like a mouth opening. Anyways, that's it. Now I can focus on the two last steps of this, which of course is timing and in-betweening. Now, we've already set a precedent that I want to be animating on twos, so the first thing, of course, is I've got to take all of these and double them. And then we want to see what that looks like, now that we're actually working at 24 frames per second. Oh man, that's actually already... I already like the airtime. So what are the things that I think are going by too quickly? That's, of course, what's really important here. I think that the jumps are actually pretty much spot on. Like, I really don't have any complaints with the amount of time that it takes to do the jump. I could, if I wanted to, add a bit of hang time for comedic effect on this first jump, because after the sigh of defeat here that we have on this first step, I wanted these second two to feel like they're hop, hop, really quickly. So I actually elongate this jump. And I do know that here I wanted to hold this for a little bit, and what I'm thinking of doing, so I know I wanted to hold that for 3 frames, when really what I just meant is I wanted to hold that for 3 times as long. That way it gives the feeling that after these 2 very exhaustive jumps, it's take a second to breathe. And what I might actually do, in fact, is have this middle frame here, have this middle frame here be a little bit of an up-down for breathing, like... So now there are 3 other sections where we're standing still. There's this. Honestly, I think that one will be fine. I just think that we have to drag it out a bit more. Let's get a little bit more love out of it. I think just that little up with a little doing from the tassels, I think that'll be perfectly sufficient. So starting from the beginning then, let's have our opening take a little bit more time. So what is this? This is 67 to 87, 20. So let's make this also 20. And then let's bring our stop in. So I definitely want from this point to this point to be one quick because the push off is what pushes him off. However, the wind up to get there can be definitely building up speed. So I'm thinking about putting a frame in between here and then favoring down towards this frame. Oh, I'm dumb as hell. Timing is done with timing charts. Man, it's been so long, I forgot that timing charts exist. So let's do that. We'll just make a timing chart layer so that way I can't mess this up anymore. Alright then. Wait, did I delete the stairs by accident? Yo, where are my stairs? Oh! I'm dumb. I was over here. Got to bring the stairs over. Alright, now, I obviously don't feel an overwhelming need to do timing for any of these frames that I've already decided that I like, but I'll do the timing, however, for these ones here. So this is 21, we're starting off on, and then ending on 25. And then, of course, here is 23, and I wanted that to be favored towards 25. And then for the hang time jump here, there are 2 options that I have available to me. I can do as I have now, which is just adding in 1 frame. And if I do that, that splits into 2 options. I can either make a favor, leaning towards one side or to the other, or I can split this, which is probably what I end up doing. Because if I favor, then I'm adding 1 on one side, but not the other side. So that'll give the feeling that he's building an unequal amount of momentum on one side that isn't matched on the other side, which doesn't make any sense in a jump, because going up and coming back down are, for the most parts, completely equal. So I'm definitely not going to be doing favoring. However, what about a split? To do that, I would take a little body here and put 1 here and 1 here. Then I would delete that one. So instead of having 1 frame be at the top of the arc, we actually have a top on the left, a top on the right, and then a drop. So if I wanted to only add 1 frame to this whole arc, I'd have to split it like that. Now, I could theoretically make life easier by adding 2 frames to this arc to slow it down. You know, since my setup is currently like this, then it would just become like this, with an in-between on either side. So it looks like I'm doing 2 new drawings either way, no matter what I do, because the split is 2 drawings and the in-betweening is 2 drawings. The question is, how many more frames do I want to add to my timeline here, right? With every frame that you add, everything's slower. And since I want this part of the jump to be a little bit slower than the other 2, I don't know whether or not adding just 1 more frame will slow it down enough, because if it does, then perfect. Same amount of work either way. But if it doesn't slow it down enough and I want to be even slower, then I move over to adding in the 2nd frame and doing this system. So I think what I'll do is I'll just have these two, and when I do a playback, see if that feels slow enough. Oh, and of course then I'll make my timing chart once I know how many more frames I want to add. Now for here. Alright, now I definitely know that I want to add in 2 frames on either side of this for this first impact. So here we're starting off on 35, ending on 43, middling on 39, and then this is going to be an even half on 37 and 41. Perfect. Ooh! When he leans back up, I want to have the tassels flap this way real quick. Flap this way real quick. Just like as a, like his arms sort of go back when he looks up like, oh! Oh, I did this one wrong! We go here, here, tassels go forward. Okay, yeah, so I actually just want this to be one where the tassels go forward. So we really want this one to be 37, this one to be 41, 1, and then this even half is going to be 39. And you know, I think I'm going to make a note for myself. Tassels forward. And then this one is tassels backwards. Starts us off nicely on 43, and ending on 47. In the middle, of course, we'll have 45, even halves those. Oh, you know what would also be kind of cute? Is on the tassels backwards if I actually have him lean back slightly. Sort of giving him this springiness to him as he goes forward and he springs back. So that with the tassels I think will be kind of cute. Now this one is held another 3 frames while we look up. I don't know if 3 frames will be enough. Let's make it 5. And now for this sigh, we are 100% going to want to hold the sigh like for 3 frames. And also I'm going to want an in-between on either side to slow roll into the sigh. So we start on 55, end on 67. 59 is our halfway point, even half nicely at 57, and even half nicely at 65. Now I want to keep this exactly as it is, because I like how fast it is. Oh, right. Give ourselves some more stairwell. Then I need to do the chart for this one. Starts us off nicely on 95, ends on 99, and even halves us conveniently on 97. And then that just stays there. Alright, zoom this out and see how that plays, see how that feels, especially when we're trying to figure out this section here. Yeah, I think that'll work out. Turns out, this is too fast. So, there'll be none of this weird split and hood nanny. Oh fuck, I never put that back. Just deleted that. Like, indefinitely. I had gotten rid of that, and then I was going to go put it back before I continued. That's gone forever. Damn. On the off chance I haven't made it abundantly clear, I deleted this centerpiece frame to show what it would be like for these two to go across in this split here, and I never put it back before I continued and did all my other edits, so now that's gone in all of my backing history. And if I went back to find it, as soon as I picked it up, it would delete all of the forward history. So, not how I wanted to start this. Okay, well, what's left? Alright, I gotta readjust all the numbers on my timing charts, create this timing chart here, and then remake this frame, I guess. Let me update all of the frames on all of my timing charts, so that way, at least now I can have an accurate representation of everything. Start on 29, end on 37, middle on 33, and then 31 and 35 will be our even halves. And then this is actually starting on 39 to 41 to 43. Great. You are 45 to 47, 49. You are 57, 59, 61, 67, and 69. Nice. And then nothing changes until here, which we start on 97, end on 101, and even half on 99. Ooh, okay. Despite how obnoxious it is that I have to redraw a frame that I already drew because I deleted it for no good reason, overall, though, I really don't actually have that many in-betweens that I have to make here. So let's get this party started. Insert time-lapse. I'm gonna do this whole segment last after a break. I'm still bummed about it. Did I draw that entire thing on the timing chart layer? I did! There you go. This has him shrinking down this way. I don't want that. I want it to look like we're rocking back. Alright then, and then I think with this I have the tassels sort of fly out a little bit, so we'll come down with the head and the tassels will flare out a bit before they fall. Not only giving him that nice defeated look, but also the arms going outward as the body goes down gives that sense of motion and floppiness. Ooh, and then when I do the other side, he's making his way back up, you know, since I've got the tassels that are going to be flaring out this time, I can actually have the tassels flare in some? That way it looks like they do this whole roundabout as he does this whole sawing motion. There we go. And then actually what I'll do is I'll copy this and then just do new tassels. There we go. Oh, right, this is the breathe. No. See, if this is my reference line, I went in like this. I need to be going out like this, because this is my reference line, and if I make my way this way, I need everything to be in this direction. So that's the nice thing about doing this stage, is you can start adding in little details as they pop up. You know, when you spend so much time focused on the bigger picture, you miss out on all these nice little personality bits, like these tassel flares that I'm doing here. I didn't really spend much time thinking about them before, but now that I'm sort of forced to sit here and stare at them, it's like, oh, it wouldn't be too much effort to add this little bit, just for a nice detail. Alright, before I go and do that part that I'm not looking forward to doing, let me just see where I am right now to see whether or not I'm on the right track. That's always nice and helpful. Yes! Alright, so now I know that I definitely want to hold that sigh for a little bit more. Is that long enough? Yeah, that's better. And I definitely want to hold... Oh, shit! I don't have a leg. Ah! I gotta get my leg! There we go. Alright, let's try this again. What do I still want to hold? Ah, this one I want to hold. Because I want to sigh. And then he's looking up and in. Alright, let's do this! And then he goes and does the jump. Hold it even longer. I'm getting an appreciation for exactly how quickly this stuff goes by. There we go. I like that. Okay, this is 25 to 30, well 25 to 37, which is 7 drawings worth of frame time. Let's put a breathe on 129. How do I want this breathe to go? I want him to look like he's leaning going. Okay, so that's 2 breaths. So we here, up, down, land, up. 8 frames. And then I want this one to be 16, because after the 2 breaths, I want a bit of a pause so we sort of build up. Okay, we're good. Right, and then I might want to tween those so that way they can be a bit smoother breaths, but let's see how it plays out. Yep, I definitely want to tween that so that way those are smoother, but I like the theory that I've got going on here. Yes, I'm going to accept that timing. It is not perfect, but I don't want to stand here and stare at it forever. So now I just need to have a single in-between frame to transition between all of those. Great! So now there are only like 4 more frames that I need to make because I've taken care of all of my timing. So now we just gotta knock these puppies out, and then we honestly should be done. And the first one is going to be this transition frame. Alright, now I want to take that, copy it, and drop that very nicely in between all of these. Wonderful. And now, last and most leastest looking forward toist, the part that I managed to royally screw up in the beginning. You. But you know what I can do? I can cheat. I'll just take this, delete that, and use that as a skin. And now we tween. Tween, I say, tween! Tween like you never twined before. Does it even make sense for this to be a slower jump? Let's see what it's like without this. This honestly might not even be worth my time. Let's make like little faux sacks. See whether that adds anything to it. No, that just makes it worse. Honestly, I'm really happy that I noticed that because those just make the jump feel so much slower and it is completely not believable. So you know what? We are done! I gotta say that we really took the extra mile on this one. I mean, the exercise was just to make the flour sack jump. Not only did we do one jump, but we did 3, which was technically one jump multiplied by 3, but the point is it was 3 jumps, and then we added in a little bit of personality between one of them. We learned a lot about timing. I think especially we learned so much about how long it takes to hold something. So I'm gonna have to find other ways to practice that in future animations. Now, of course, then the question is, what are the things that we want to work on for next time? And I think the big thing here is the thickness of the lines. I definitely like having my first pass be drawing everything and then resizing it, but of course when I do my resizings, it also drags the whole vector of the lines and expands them and contracts them, so that way it looks like my line thicknesses are jumping all over the place, no pun intended. So I think for future videos, I'm definitely going to want to then do a final pass over, which I will not record for everybody to watch. I don't think it's necessary for you to watch me redraw a whole animation after I've drawn it, but I'll go over it with a single line, go over all my works, and then so that way, once I finish resizing everything, it can all have a uniform thickness, because that's a little jarring. So thank you very much, and y'all have yourselves a wonderful however long. And with that, we're halfway through our flowery exercises. Click the video to watch our clumsy buddy struggle a bit, and if the series has inspired you, feel free to send your take on this exercise to crowgetslearned@gmail.com. If you want to stay tuned for more, tap subscribe, and this week we're tossing a shout out to The Offspring and the Wicked video for Dividing by Zero. Slim Pickens does the right thing and rides the bomb to hell.